Hello. So we have completed all the prose lessons. You remember, no? First one, the last lesson. Second, lost spring. And third, deep water. And fourth, rat trap. And fifth, indigo. Isn't it? Yes, I think now we have completed all the 5. Today we will start with our poems. And the first one is, we have very famous Indian poetess, Kamla Das. Kamla Das, her pen name is Madhavikutty. When she embraced Islam, she took the name Kamla Suraiya. That was in 1999. And she is fondly called by her fans, Aami. Aami. So you have 4 names. One is Kamala Das, second is Madhavikutty pen name, third is Kamla Suraiya. She embraced Islam, then she took the name Kamla Surayya, and fondly by her fans she is called Aami. Aami. All right. Now, as you know, some facts about, we will go through some facts about Kamla Suraiya, or Aami, or Madhavikutty, or Kamla Das. First point, notice, one of India's foremost and popular author, wrote in English and Malayalam. So, Indo-Anglian literature, there is a branch. So, in that she has one WN, one special renown, fame, special renown. As a novelist, as a poet, and as a short story writer. Versatile genius, you can call her like that. Second point is, her writings were centered on personal experience. No external factors influenced her. In this, she is like the romantic poet John Keats. So she was not influenced by any colonial experience or fight between, say, the struggle for independence, none of those things. Just personal, centered on her personality and also relationship with others, human relations. Nothing to do with other things like the struggle for independence or Zamindari system or women's liberation, none of those things. So in this case, so there is a comparison we have got with John Keats. John Keats, unlike other romantic poets, other romantic poets now, William Wordsworth, then P.B. Shelley, and they were involved in many other things. For example, Wordsworth, so French Revolution, he was influenced by French Revolution. And Shelley too, injustices around him and so on. But as far as pure poetry, you can say John Keats. Like that you can say Kamla Das. Kamla Das, Madhavikutty, Kamla Suraiya, or Aami. Third point, notice personality, her personality, bold, beautiful, sensitive, and tormented. Tormented, sometimes in her writings you will see, she's very bold. She published Enda Katha. That is my story. Open and frank. Bold, beautiful. That you can see pictures, you will find that she is beautiful. And then you have got this. Next one is sensitive. Very sensitive person, and also you can see when you read the poems, sensitive. And novels also. And lastly, tormented personality. Tormented means agony, pain. She has suffered a lot of agony and pain. Tormented. That is sufferings she had. What are her sufferings, etc.? We have to go deep into, you have to read her books. And then you have got fourth, wrote frankly about being a woman her desires, longings, pains, and a number of catch-22 situations. So she has catch-22 situation means certain situations where she could not, you cannot avoid this. You cannot avoid such situation. You have to do something that way. What do you say when life is like a pathless wood sometimes? So about those things she has written. She has written about her experiences, her desires, her longings, also women as such. That is, boiled gold in that way. And fifth is, she has got a lyrical idiom of her own. Lyrical idiom is poetic language. Lyrical idiom is a poetic language. Poetic language, diction, special way of presenting and so on. In this poem you can see there is no full stop. It begins and ends. That's all. So that's one way. And in a lyrical idiom that is only hers, she expresses the complexities of human relations in her works. So special, every poet has got his own special lyrical idiom. T.S. Eliot, a famous modern poet, any poet you can take. They have got their own way of choosing certain words and using them and so on. So that is a lyrical idiom as well, the author is concerned. The novelist, short story writer and poetess. So three in one. She is a novelist, she is a short story writer, but also she is a poetess. Understand? And these are things that we should know about her. Some facts about her. Now her famous novel, Alphabet of Lust, published in 1977. Ende Katha or My Story, actually it created a sensation among the reading public when it was published. A great sensation, so to say. Collection of short stories and poems in English and in Malayalam. And that's a very rich experience, literary experience. 5 books of poetry she published. So very rich, in a very renowned author, so to say. English as well as in Malayalam. That's about the author. Now when you take up the poem, it's a very interesting poem because about the poem first, it's a journey poem. Journey poem. It was the day Friday, time early morning. There's a driver. Of course, she was not driving. Her mother and herself, they were sitting in the back seat. That's why beside me, she says now. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. That means back seat. Front seat the driver. Beside me. By my side, I saw. Naturally a question will come. Naturally you will ask, she was in her mother's house, parents' house. Her starting point is parents' home. When she was in her parents' home, didn't she see her mother? Why only now? Then maybe because the poets it is said they have got 6th sense. We have only 5 senses. Her 6th sense started, 6th sense opened, we can say. Only when they started from home to Cochin airport. That may be the reason. That is. So it's a journey poem from one place to the other. The journey from her mother's house to Cochin airport was continuous without any traffic problems. No junction, there's no breakdown, everything was very smooth, no problem. So too the poem begins, continues and ends with a full stop. No full stop in between. It simply flows. Spontaneous flow. A spontaneous flow of powerful emotions. What is the powerful emotion? the relationship between herself and her mother. That way you can say this is a romantic poem. Isn't it? Spontaneous flow. A powerful emotion. The powerful emotion is the relationship between childhood. She is speaking about her childhood. Now the relationship grew, become mature. Now she herself a housewife, and she came to visit her parents and returning. That time, that powerful feelings come to her mind, and he gives, and she is going away from them. So, casually, so to say, see, there are three verbs here. You can say the operating part of the poem. First is see. I saw my mother. Second is, he says, airport security check. Security check. There is another break there. The third is looked again. In fact, there are two pillars on which this poem is built. One is saw, the other is look. Saw is casual. Look is deliberate. Taking a second look, means she's deliberately looking. Am I right? My thoughts, are they right? She's thinking like that. Understand? So second point is that. Third is, when at home with her mother, she was not conscious of the aging process. It was when she was about to say bye to her mother, all at once it dawns on her. So that I have already answered why. Why is it like this? Because just at that particular moment, there is always a moment of enlightenment in it. You see a rose for almost every day. On a particular day, a particular moment, when you see these things coming, the smithy of your mind, as James Joyce says, it starts working. Then an ordinary experience will become an extraordinary one, a poetic experience. Now the journey here, before that she might have come here and gone, no problem. See that? She might have seen, no problem. At home she might have seen, still there is no change. Now at this journey, during this journey what happens? She sees, then later she looks, and all her mind gets boiled. A kind of voltage variation in her mind. That voltage variation, capturing the voltage variation in your mind is, the product will be a poem. This is what happens here. So the third point is that, the fourth is, unwilling to accept the reality, she seeks distractions, pleasant distractions. What is the reality? That she is aging. She looks like a dead body. That I will tell you. I am very sad to say that. I am sorry that such a great poetess has compared her mother, living mother, to a dead body. That comparison is, you cannot agree. It is an incongruous comparison. Incongruous means, but simply put, you can say a kind of ugly comparison. Now, that is my opinion. You can have your opinion. That's a different thing. Now, unwilling to accept the reality, she seeks distractions, pleasant distraction. That is children playing and trees springing. Spilling out, children spilling out from homes in large numbers. That is spilling out. Spilling means spilling milk from a glass. When the glass is full, spill out. Like children spilling out. So it's against spontaneous action. Spilling out. Not somebody is not pushing them. And then sprinting trees against spontaneous action. Why? Because as you are proceeding, the car, you are driving, then when you look outside, you will see the trees are sprinting. Sprinter means runner, sprinter. Short race is sprinter. So you can see them moving like fast moving. The trees are not moving, the car is moving, but you feel. That's the thing. So then you see, unwilling to accept is so there is a distraction actually in the poem, but it's a contrast. That contrast is very beautifully done, no doubt about that. But the comparison to corpse, dead body, not beautifully done. We cannot agree to that. See. And now we come to this again. Conflicting emotions in the poet. That is pain for her mother's plight, fear that she too would one day become a victim. That's the point. She is conscious now. Her mother is old, she has to get old. That's a fact. But now that thought, what happens? It creates a commotion in her mind. Tormented. Her mind is really tormented, as I said. Personality, we said, no, she's a beautiful, bold and tormented person. So here that tormenting takes place. That is, one day I will also be like this. That is the conflict. That is actually the conflict within the poem. That is what, that conflict is what attracts you towards this poem. Otherwise it is quite ordinary, no? Yes. And also built on two verbs. One is saw and the other is looked. One is seeing is another spontaneous action. Looking is deliberate action. She looks, again she is looking from a distance at the time of security check. Then it dawns on her that, oh, I will also be looking like this. Understand? And lastly, poetic devices use simile, contrast, repetition, smile, smile, smile. Simile, we have already seen the comparison, and you have got the contrast. Contrast is, as I said, no? One it is dead, the other is living. One is dead, the other is vibrant. Children and the trees, vibrant, throbbing with life. Here, twilight years. Twilight years. The other, rising sun. The other is dusk of your life. Dusk, D-U-S-K. Not dusk, dusk. Because pronunciation problem can happen this way. Now, you keep these things in your mind. I will read the poem for you. Together we will read. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. Very simple, free verse it is. There's no rhyme, no alliteration, none of those things. No decoration, so to say. Nothing. So driving, and what my mother was doing, doors, open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. That comparison is incongruous, I don't agree to that. I beg to differ. So the comparison is dozing. She is dozing. She might have dozed at home also. She might have been sleeping also. And the poet might have seen it. She did not feel anything. Open mouth. Old people, you must know, even young people, even students sometimes, when they go to, when they get bored, they will stop listening and start sleeping. Then you will see their mouths open. And then the teachers, if the teacher has a sense of humor, she or he will ask the neighbor, the student sitting next to him or her, they say, close his mouth, otherwise flies will get in. Isn't it? Yeah, you must have seen, and then he will get up. So like that. Those. And that is one open mouth sleeping is one way you are very tired, you are fatigued, so to say. Then that case you will Another time when you keep your mouth open is when you die. You have seen, no? Open mouth and they tie like this. They will put a ribbon like this and tie very strongly. And if that ribbon is removed, then again it will be open. You might have seen that. Yes. Yeah, that is. So open mouth, her face ashen, ash-like, color of ash. It's a colorless thing, no? Ash, colorless. Like that means ash, something that is very weak, very tired, that very old and tired, ashen like that of a corpse. I don't want to repeat that. That's a comparison. That's a simile. And realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. There the pain comes. And that line, is very important because I realized that realized that she was as old as she looked. Means she could have appeared better if she was taken to a beauty parlor before this journey. There are some people, if you say, they will say, how old are you? I am 80 years old. When you look at that person, you think he is only, say, 40 or 50. There's an advertisement you must have seen. A mother dancing. And people think that she is very young, she is unmarried, she is very beautiful and so on. Then a child comes running to her and says, Mummy, oh, you are Mummy. Yes. That means she may be 40, but she looks 20. She is like, but here it is not so. Here it is, her age is reflected on her face. Many times, your age is not reflected on your face because you can apply some camouflage, makeup. Understand? You can color your hair, you can color your eyes. Eyebrow, not eyes you cannot color. You can color your mustache if you are a man. Color your eyes. Then lot of things you can do to look young. But here it's not a plain, very plain. So she realized that she was as old as she looked. But soon put that thought away. Very often it happens. When many unpleasant thoughts come to your mind, you will put a stop and look at the distraction. You just look at the lizard if you are inside the room. Outside you look at a bird or a squirrel playing. Because it's a very, I don't accept. I reject it. That my mother is old. I cannot believe it. I will not accept that. Very often that's the problem most of us in our life also. Many things we don't accept. We resist. So she is resisting that thought that my mother is as old as she looks. So that is the problem. If there was some makeup or something like that, her mother would have looked very young. Then, okay, appearance is the most important thing. However old you are, what is most important is your appearance. So in this case, this is what pains her. She was as old as she looked. But soon I changed. I don't accept that. So look out. And young trees sprinting, merry children spilling. Spilling, sprinting. That is. So what happens is that here it is very slow, dozing, open mouth, very old. Just the opposite you find outside. Merry children running with all their energy, they're vibrant, playing, dancing, singing, jumping, and trees sprinting, moving very fast. But here it is very slow. Suddenly what happens, she gets some energy. The poet gets some energy. Out there, spilling out of their homes, but after the airport security check. So after that, he is spilling out of their homes. Then they reach the airport. Mother is still maybe waiting outside. Because mother is not traveling. She is not going to board a flight. But she is not going by flight. She is there. And young, the poet is very young, and poetess is very young, and she is going around, nobody to help her. Herself she is going. All the travel requirements she is fulfilling. Then security check is there. From there, what happens? Security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her. Now this time it is deliberate. The thought that she is like her face is like that of the dead body, or the face of a dead body, a dead man or a dead woman, ashen-like. And she was dozing, and also with open mouth. Then I somehow wanted to get rid of it. I resisted that, I didn't like it. So I looked outside, then I saw a vibrant life, very lively. Now I just, for the 1 or 2 moments I forgot, and I went for my travel requirements and so on. Then I went security check, it takes time, some time. So from there she looked. She wanted to confirm whether what I saw in the when she was sitting beside me in the car is right or not. Then she saw, she says, look at her again. Vain. As a late winter's moon. Late winter's moon. Winter is not late. Late moon in winter season. That's actually it's called a transferred epithet. Epithet means adjective. Because late should go with moon, not with winter. And that is called changing the position, called transferring position of the late moon. That is adjective, late moon. Early morning, like that, a late moon. So he says, she's like the late moon. Late moon means the moon maybe comes after midnight. Certain days are like that. Sometimes the moon comes at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. So late moon. Winter season. After midnight, winter season, the sky will be foggy. Isn't it? Sometimes snowing and foggy. So you can't see the moon. The moon is there, the queen of the sky, but you can't see. Foggy and very cold and stiff, and plus maybe snowing. So late, like the sun setting, the moon setting. Yes, late. Yes, that is winter's moon. That's a very beautiful expression. Late winter's moon. Very beautiful. In fact, that particular piece there compensates for ashen like a corpse. Now, whether the poet has deliberately done it or not, whether we feel it like that, we don't know. So, as late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. There is that conflict. There is the old familiar, which we experience every day when you look at the face of our parents. One day I will also be like this. I don't think anybody will escape from such a feeling. Oh, he can't get up. One day I will also be like this. That fear is there now. Sure, that fear will be there. As it felt an old familiar ache. That means repeated. It comes repeatedly. My pain, my childhood's fear. Therefore, I did not want to say anything. And all I said was, see you soon, Amma. Amma, that's a Malayalam word for mother. See you soon, Amma. And all I did was, very important, was smile, smile and smile. We will continue tomorrow. Questions and answers, etc. For the time you read the poem at least 5 times. If possible, if you don't mind, write down the poem at least once, and we will discuss tomorrow. Till we meet again, bye, have a nice day.